I will now give some details of his previous history. He had an exceptionally unsatisfactory and disturbed time as a sucking infant, for his mother kept up for some weeks a fruitless attempt to nurse him, and he nearly died of starvation. Artificial foods were then restored to. At last, when he was 7 weeks old, a wet nurse was found for him, but by then he did not thrive on breastfeeding. He suffered from digestive upsets, prolapsus ani, and later from hemorrhoids. Possibly his development was affected by the fact that, though he had every care, no real love was lavished on him. His mother's attitude to him being from the very beginning over-anxious, as, moreover, neither his father nor his nurse showed him much affection. Dick grew up in an environment rather poor in love. When he was 2 years old, he had a new nurse who was skillful and affectionate, and shortly afterwards, he was for a considerable time with his grandmother, who was very loving to him. The influence of these changes was observable in his development. He had learned to walk at about the normal age, but there was a difficulty in training him to control his excretory functions. Under the new nurse's influence, he acquired habits of cleanliness much more readily. At the age of about 3, he had mastered them, and on this point he actually showed a certain amount of ambition and apprehensiveness. In one other respect, he showed himself in his 4th year sensitive to blame. The nurse had found out that he practiced masturbation and had told him it was naughty and he must not do it. This prohibition clearly gave rise to apprehension and to a sense of guilt. Moreover, in his 4th year, Dick did in general make a greater attempt at adaptation, but principally in relation to external things, especially through the mechanical learning of a number of new words. From his earliest days, the question of feeding had been abnormally difficult. When he had the wet nurse, he showed no desire at all to suck, and this disinclination persisted. Next, he would not drink from a bottle. When the time came for him to have more solid food, he refused to bite it up and absolutely rejected everything that was not of the consistency of pap. Even this he had almost to be forced to take. Another good effect of the new nurse's influence was some improvement in Dick's willingness to eat, but even so, the main difficulties persisted. Thus, although the kindly nurse had made a difference to his development in